I'd like to introduce Jason Robinson, who is the Director of Future Advisory and co-host of the Numbers Game podcast. As a CPA accredited tax accountant and co-founder of Future Advisory, Jason's passion is to guide individuals and SMEs through a maze of financial options. He gets to the core of the bigger picture about what you as a business owner and an individual want to achieve with your life. And he maps out a personalized tax strategy that will assist you in realizing your personal and business success. So thanks so much for joining us, Jason.
Great to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So Jason, to start with, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and Future Advisory?
Yeah, for sure. I'm one of the co-founders of Future Advisory, basically bookkeeping, accounting and advisory firm based in Melbourne, team of about 30. We're a future-focused, people-first accounting firm, big on innovation, technology, and helping our clients and team create a better future, not just for our clients, but for anyone and everyone who touches Future Advisory. Big industries we love working in: trade and construction, e-commerce, professional services. We're actually fortunate enough to be named Xero Accounting Partner of the Year here in the APAC region, which was a huge recognition for the work that we've done to work with clients and deliver great results. We'd like to think we're not your typical accountants. We lead with a bit of personality, love to provide clarity, and love using smart tools like Xero and Syft. And then in the bio, touched on it, I'm a co-host of a podcast called The Numbers Game, actually in the studio, about to record a few episodes now, which worked out really well from a sound quality point of view, hopefully. I work on XPAC's Partner Advisory Council, so I've been working with the senior leadership team at Xero for quite some time. And I also do a lot of work with the CPA as the chair of the Victorian Public Practice Committee here in Victoria.
Oh, fantastic.
Extremely busy.
Yeah.
Very busy.
One job.
What are some of the common things that your clients struggle with in terms of their finances?
Yeah, look, it's a great question. I think, any small business owner wears a lot of hats and they're running around doing, marketing, sales, delivering the actual job at the end of the day. So I think clarity and confidence in their numbers, if they're not spending a lot of time in their own books, reviewing their profit and loss and balance sheet, even saying the words profit and loss and balance sheet, some small business owners just really don't understand how it all ties together. A lot of them will look at their bank balance as a measure of success. And when bank balance starts to take a hit, there's an overwhelm. So I think a lot of small business owners, what they really struggle with is great forecasting, the ability to understand the difference between cash flow and the profitability of their business and how to measure their performance. Even when it comes down to benchmarking, if you're running a cafe and you're making some money, cool, but how do you actually compare to the rest of the industry? Is it good? Is it bad? Or if you're not sure about how to benchmark, you don't really actually know where you sit. That's where obviously, we love to step in and help with education, technology, and really it's just turning storytelling around the numbers. If we can tell a story about what's happening powered by the numbers, we can really help small business owners understand where they're going in the past, where they've been, and then also where they're trying to get to.
Oh, that's great. I think there's such a space in the accounting world for the type of work that you're doing and empowering small businesses, because that's essentially what drives a massive part of the economy, right?
100%. Yeah, I think, so many small business owners out there that, the better they perform, the better the small business economy and the better the whole economy of the country is.
Exactly. And you obviously one of our valued customers. So what has your experience of working with Syft been like?
Look, I've fortunately jumped onto Syft quite early. Again, being involved in Xero's ecosystem and dealing with a lot of Ford tech-focused firms, the word spreads pretty quick, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, you need to jump on Syft early." And look, in the early days, like anything, there's always opportunities to progress and make things better. So anytime that we've had feedback or needed support, the team have jumped on it straight away. Which I think is fantastic. Even, I was fortunate enough to go to Nashville and met some of the founders of Syft and, the top team members at Syft that have been around since day one, building, integrating, rolling out new features, all with the aim of, helping accounting firms deliver exceptional advisory and great results for clients. So experience with Syft, yeah, hands down, great. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't fantastic. But yeah, we've loved the journey so far. And the beauty is, I mean, with the way Xero and Syft are partnering up now, I know the journey's only just beginning. We've got a really exciting future ahead of us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Great, yeah.
I suppose it's difficult with a software that has so many features, and I know you use a lot of them. But I was wondering if you have a favorite feature on Syft.
I'm going to have to do a couple, if that's okay. Look, the dashboard visualization, you talked about the dashboard before. I think you used the word pretty, which, isn't the way I'd necessarily have used that word, but I do think it is very pretty. I think, look, especially some clients, especially in the creative space, website, marketing, e-commerce, they don't want to see a big page full of numbers, but they do want to understand their business. So living on the dashboard and showing, this period versus last period, the ability to hover over certain things and deep dive into certain numbers. Then report packs. The report packs are much more visually pretty. I'll use the word again. Love that. Touched on it earlier, benchmarking. If you do have a client that's in a particular industry or profession, the ability to benchmark and show them, are they ahead or are they falling behind in any areas or metrics? Big one for a lot of firms that struggle with consolidations. The ability, if you're working across a client group with 3 or 4 Xero files, to be able to consolidate into one group view and even provide that access to the client so that they can jump in and see one view at one time instead of them trying to flick between 3 or 4 Xero files to get an understanding of their numbers. And rolling on from what I just learned in the webinar, since we're all here to learn, the MailChimp data coming in is epic. I think we're a MailChimp
awesome.
user at our firm. I love, I do a lot of the sales and marketing, and I love to be able to analyze the data of, the click rates, the open rates. We're actually doing an NPS score with our clients at the moment. So the ability to jump into Syft and have one view to be able to see what's happening in the background with MailChimp, absolute banger. Love it, guys. Well done.
Thank you. We're so happy that you're happy, Jason. Well, you
Good.
have, yeah, you have a lot of favorites, which is very similar to everyone working at Syft. We also have a lot of favorites, but do you have any specific reasons why other businesses should consider using Syft in their practice?
Yeah, like anything, we need to turn data into decision making. So I think really having some confidence in the decisions that you're helping your clients make, having the access to the data in that one place and being able to visually, get the concept of what's happening. It improves client conversations. So really it'll give your business an edge into how you're delivering advisory like anything, we want deep valued relationships with our clients. So if they love working with a product like Syft or you start using a product like Syft, you'll start to see the excitement of clients and the understanding of when they get in a room with you, they can really unpack and understand things better, allows us and our teams to explain things. And as well, Syft overall, smart and scalable. We've added so many files to Syft, and they're toggling between different clients, quick access to information. And obviously the price point is spot on where it needs to be for the market, delivers exceptional value, but it's still at a price that makes sense for clients and for advisors.
Thank you for that. We're going to put it on our feedback Slack channel so that everyone can get all of it.
I suppose zooming out a little bit now, not focusing on Syft so much, what challenges or trends do you see in the industries that you serve in Australia at the moment?
Yeah, look, specifically if I drill down, for example, trade and construction, I think cash flow is a big one. People are withholding cash for themselves. There was the election recently, which kind of drives people to make weird decisions. So I'd say cash flow is a big trend and challenge across the board. People are looking at their P&Ls and seeing that they've made money and they're profitable, but then they need to go to their balance sheet to see that their aged receivables or their, receivables have grown. So the money's actually tied up and then they're becoming a bit of a bank or loaning to their clients rather than getting the money in their own bank account. So I think that's a huge one there. There's also, across the board of e-commerce, we've got e-commerce growth around the world, and all of a sudden we're looking at clients having exposure to different taxes in different regions. So again, it's a bit of a challenge. You got Trump doing his thing with tariffs, which always leads to some complexities for our e-commerce clients that sell things out of China. So that's a bit of fun. And then even professional services, so many new rules all the time around how money needs to be taxed. So you've got to be across it all. It's one thing to have good tools, but lots of trends and challenges. It's specific to certain regions and specific to industries. At least with the cash flow one, we've got ways and tools to at least help our clients for now. Some of the other ones are a bit more macro level. But yeah, it's exciting times and interesting times ahead, that's for sure.
100%. It's always so interesting to me how we have these global problems or things that have a global impact and we're all dealing with the same thing. And then we have our own regional specific problems that might not be such a massive problem in Johannesburg where we are, but is a big problem where you are. So very, very insightful. And thank you so much for the feedback, Jason, and for spending
Our
some
pleasure.
time with us and for taking the time to also like share your story.
Thanks,
Oh,
team.
it's
Great
been
to be here.
pleasure.